Long-lasting makeup for mature women. I'm Laura Ray. I will share with you today things I do to make my makeup last. Most of us want our makeup to last, but there are those days when we really need it to last. Maybe you're going to a wedding, a party, or you're going right from work someplace else and you really don't have time to go home and redo your makeup. Or maybe you're like me and you live in a very humid climate where your makeup can easily get destroyed. So I've tried so many products to see what would be the most long-lasting, and I'm going to share this look with you today and talk about some of the things I do to make my makeup last. Skin prep is so important, and I've had many people write me about pilling makeup or makeup that just doesn't lay right on their face. And it starts with your skin prep. If you'd like to see a whole video on skin prep, I'd love to do that for you. But one thing I'll mention today is don't use heavy moisturizers under your makeup. Unless you have a lot of time for it to dry down, I find that makes my makeup turn into a slip and slide. So under my makeup, I always use something very thin. I love this one from Vichy. I've gone back to it. It's Mineral 89. This is amazing. It really keeps my face moisturized and plays amazing during makeup. Now, what I like to do is after I've washed my face, put this on, and then start doing other parts of my face, like my lipstick. I sort of like to put my lipstick on first now because it gives me that strong color. Usually the strongest color on my face, I find, comes from the lipstick or my eyeshadow. I don't usually wear very vibrant blush, so the main color stories are coming off the eyes and the lips. So I like to keep my lips moisturized while I'm putting on my makeup, so a lot of times I will use my City Lips and then put lipstick on top of it. Now, what I did today was I used my Maybelline Superstay, which I love. The original one I put on is golden, and it was a little too warm tone for my cool sweater I'm wearing. So then I went on top with Primrose, one of my all-time favorite shades from Revlon, and I thought I came up with a pretty nice shade that looked beautiful with the sweater. I started my look off with this lip pencil from Sephora. It's called Dressed in the 90s. I love these pencils from Sephora. This is their gel pencils. And they're beautiful liners. They seem very high-end. You don't have to sharpen these. These are retractable lip liners, and they're beautiful. I often will wear them alone, but they're very affordable. They're great for lining the lips and giving some definition. If you really want your lipstick to last a long time, that's another option. Fill in your entire lip with your lip pencil, and then go on top with either a lipstick or a gloss. While I'm letting my moisturizer dry, I go in for the brows, and this is such a great brow pencil. It's from Winky Lux. I like that it's on an angle. It has the little spoolie. This is a universal shade, and I find it works really great for my brows. And when I'm done with that, I go on to the eyeshadow. Now, I always lay a primer down because otherwise any powder I use just fades away and disappears. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. You can use a regular primer like this one from Anastasia. This is a great one, and this is the mini size. I find you don't need a full size. A mini size is plenty. These last a really long time. But today what I've done is actually used a cream shadow. This is one that you can use as an eyeshadow or a primer. That way you're getting two things out of this. And it's their long wear matte shadow from Ulta Beauty. This is amazing. This is in the shade Flower Power. And this is a great primer for the eyes, but I've also worn it alone. And then I'm going in today with a palette I've had a long time. I thought maybe some of you would have it. The Tartlet palette. I'm using two of the shades today, Caregiver and Natural Beauty, and they're just so beautiful, these shadows. They really last a long time. I find that the Tarte eyeshadows and their blushes last so long. I really love them. They're easy to work with. And the brushes I'm using today, by the way, are the new ones from Nikki LaRose, and they're beautiful brushes. Now, for the skin, I think it's really important to wear a primer if you want your foundation to last a long time. So I pulled out my Dermablend that I had. Now, this is pretty interesting because they say it's a 3-in-1 multitasker. It is a gripping primer, which that's what I'm wanting it for, an instant moisturizer. We don't think of that when we think of these primers, but it did keep my face very hydrated. And a tightening mask. I'm all about that. So I think this is really great for mature women. I've had this for quite a while. Now, when you put it on, if you've never used it, it feels like a tightening mask. Not that there's so much tightening, but that feel when it starts to dry down like one of those masks. But then it becomes very comfortable on the skin. Now, I can still feel a slight tackiness to it, which is good. That's going to hold on the foundation. Now, the foundation I chose today to use is an all-time favorite from Catrice. I've used this for a very long time. This is actually waterproof, which is why I chose it. And it's got niacinamide, and they say it lasts up to 24 hours. The shade that I'm using is Sand Beige, and I just love this one. It's thin. It works great on mature skin. It worked great with this primer. I think the look of my skin, I'm pretty amazed. I'm amazed by how my pores look. My pores look so much better than they normally look. I don't know that you can see such a difference, but I do. I'm used to looking very close up in a magnifying mirror, and I can see a big difference. But I love the way that this looks on top of the Dermablend. Let's talk about eyeliner. I've tried a few this year that are really long lasting. I've talked quite a bit about the glimmer sticks from Avon. Those are amazing. Great price. Another one at a great price point is this one from CoverGirl. This gives a lot of intensity. The shade I'm using today is Rich Brown. But this is their Exhibitionist 24-hour kohl liner. I've used this for so long. I love the plum shade. I bought that, but I bought this new one to try out because I wanted to try a brown. It blends beautifully, and then it dries. It is not going to budge. If you need to remove it, you're going to have to use eye makeup remover. It really lasts. It never smudges under my eyes. So I've loved this for at least a couple of years. I've worn this one. Now for mascara, I chose the Maybelline Lash Sensational. This is the waterproof. This isn't going anywhere either. If you're really going for a long-lasting makeup look, I think waterproof is great to use occasionally. I would not use it all the time because it can be drying on the lashes. And we know we don't want our lashes to be dry. So I use this only if I'm going somewhere where I know I really need the mascara to stay on for hours. Another thing you could do is wear a tubing mascara. That lasts great on my lashes too. I love the one I've talked about over and over from L'Oreal. It's been around forever. It's a great tubing mascara that doesn't budge. L'Oreal came out a couple of years ago with this infallible bronzer, and it's just fabulous. I talked about it in another video recently. It's still a favorite. It's matte. It doesn't have shimmer in it. And I think this is great because this is one that's going to last for hours. They promise up to 24. I'm usually happy with 12 hours or 14 hours of wear. But this lasts beautifully. It's easy to blend. Now, I also chose the blush from L'Oreal because it's another affordable product that lasts for hours. This is a beautiful shade. It's Confident Pink. I don't have to use very much. This is going to last forever. I just put a dot or two and blend it out, and look at how beautiful it looks. It has the look of a high-end blush, I think, and it's not going to budge. If you really want to make your makeup last, I suggest a setting spray. You can layer setting spray. You can put it on before you even begin putting on any of your foundation. You can spray another layer after you put on your foundation, and you could even do one more when you're done with your blush and bronzer and everything. Now, the way I like to apply it, I've talked about it before. I like this one from Milani, but there's so many great ones out at the drugstore. All I do is I spray it directly into the brush like this. I don't like spraying it all over my face. You tend to get it on the eyes, and I don't want to get it in my eyes. So I just do that and then just pat on. This way you can be very strategic with your placement. It's great for under the eyes instead of powder. Now, I'm not going to put on any powder today. You definitely could, but I don't like too many layers on my skin. So setting spray is my replacement for powder. After the Winky Lux, I love to go in with this. This is $3, so affordable. This actually is 2 products in one. On one side is a brow gel, and on the other side is a lash mascara if you just wanted a clear. And this works great. So I go in with the Winky Lux and just take the brow gel and just sort of lift the brows like that. You can go the opposite way too, so that all the hairs are covered. This really makes them so much thicker. If you're like me and you just don't have very thick brows, this is a fantastic way to make them look a little thicker, but yet still look natural. All of the products I used today are in the description of the video. Let me know if there's anything you've been enjoying that you feel is long-lasting. That helps all of us out, and I always enjoy trying new products that I haven't tried. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.